Hi everyone, just thought I'd share today what a typical leg workout might look for me. Unfortunately, today turned out to be anything but. What you'll notice here, just warming up. Now, I've hooked some straps round the front, which I sort of stumbled across not that long ago, just sort of made it up. Um, just because there's no safety squat bar in this gym I'm in. It's a commercial gym, so while it's got all the basic stuff, it's nowhere near as well as equipped as some of the gyms I've used in the past. But at the minute, it's serving me okay. So yeah, just warming up. Standard 60 kilos. Going to put 100 on here. Get a feel for the weights. The aim is to move up to a heavy set of two. So 3 sets of two. Work each one of them up. And just generally feel out these warm ups as I'm going along. And hopefully get some big numbers further on in the session. Now, unfortunately, like I said, this wasn't like my typical workout. So generally, I see it all the way through. But I think it was on this set here that I felt something in my left knee. Now, I'm towards the end of my current, I would say 10 to 12 week training block where I just progressively load the weights through pretty standard. And to be honest, I'm getting pretty beat up at the minute. So I've got quite a lot of aches and pains everywhere. And my left knee just felt so unstabilized. So I worked up to 180, did a single at 220, and my knee was just way too unstable, and it was just unsafe to go any heavier. So rare occurrence, but I thought, right, I'm not going to bail out. I'll just do my speed work. I always do speed work every session. So you've got here, just going to do 15-inch deadlifts, going to work on sort of my sticking point tends to be at about 15 inches. So I'm really good off the floor. But that sort of middle portion before you push the hips through is where I really struggle. So just warming up. The knee's still hurting at this point. I've got pretty mashed up hips just because I've been pushing the weights quite a lot recently. But felt quite good on these today. So my working sets, what I generally do, 10 sets of two. So here I'm going to be doing as fast as possible, but again, that fatigue sort of feeding into this. So I usually am a bit faster than this, but I'm just trying to do what I can, just trying to get the work in. I'm at the gym pretty late tonight, so it's not really ideal. Got the smelling salts out already, which is never a good sign. And we'll just see how these go. But yeah, what I'll typically do is I do squats and deadlifts on the same day. I work up to a top set of two or a top set of one, just because that's what I enjoy doing. It's not ideal, it's not optimal, but it works for me. I can get stronger from it, and I really enjoy just attacking those heavy weights every session. Unfortunately, today couldn't hit that top set of two on the squats, so then just switching over to speed work. Now, I've mentioned in some previous videos that I think speed work is such a critical, important component of training, and more than anything, it's to drill in the technique and just be comfortable with sort of sub-maximal weights. Now, what I've got on the bar here is about 65% of my 1 rep max for this movement, and all I'm trying to do is just get as much power through the bar as possible. Again, drilling that technique, keeping that back nice and straight, and focusing really for this movement specifically is the pushing through the hips, because I think it's such a difficult cue to get right in the deadlift. A lot of people are either good on the floor, good at lockout, but I think that middle portion where you've got to remember to just smash those hips through, and I'm guilty of not always doing it optimally, but this is how I'm training, how I'm drilling into my mind. You need to smash those hips through, because there's no way you're moving heavy weight on this variation of the deadlift unless you get a good hip pivot in there and really force your glutes through the bar. Now, what I generally do with speed work, so 10 sets of two if I'm doing leg work, 8 sets of three if I'm doing pressing work, and what I like to do is sort of undulate the percentages that I'm doing. So today, like I said, I'm doing 65% of my 1 rep max. What I typically do then is either I'm heading up or down, and what I mean by that is I'll go from 50% up 5% every week. until I hit 70%, and then I go back down to 50%.